Good day. I'm welcoming all to Master T online tutorial class. And today we'll be looking at mensuration. And when talking about mensuration, we are basically talking about the solid shapes. And when talking about the shapes, we are talking about the surface area and volume of common solids. Okay, what are we talking about? For example, if we look at the prisms, then we're looking at the cubes, the cuboid, and the cylinders. These all make up, we look at the solid of this, the shapes of these solids, substance. So looking at this, the prism, of course, we have cubes, cuboid, and cylinders. But in general, when looking at the volume of the prism is equal to the area of the uniform cross section multiplied with the perpendicular height. Do not forget, the volume of the prism is the area of the uniform cross section multiplied with the perpendicular height. Of course, that is what? Area of the base times what? The height. But I want little explanation on this. When talking about the cross-sectional area, of course, we are talking about the area of that base. We are talking about the area of that base, and we're talking about the height. At times, we are talking about the depth. The depth, or how deep the solid substance we are talking about is. So, generally, we should know that the volume of a prism is given as the area of the base multiplied with the what? With the height. So this is the shape of some. So this is cube, and of course this is cuboid. We call it also cube, and we have a triangular prism, and so also we have a cylinder. So I'll be giving us some general formula when talking about the cube in general. When talking about the cube, the volume of the cube, volume of cube is given as what? L cube, which is equal to length times length times length. So it's given as what? L cube. And surface area of it, the surface area is given as 6L square. The surface area is given as 6L square. When we look at cuboid, on the other hand, the volume of cuboid is given as L times breadth times height. That is length, this length times breadth times this height. So that is the volume of cuboid. But surface area of a cuboid, the surface area of cuboid is given as 2 into bracket LH plus what? BL plus HB. That is LH plus what? BL plus what? HB. That is, we multiply the length times breadth, we multiply plus the breadth and height with what? With height and the what? And the breadth, and give us the surface area of the cuboid. But on cylinder, if you have cylinder, on the other end, the volume of the cylinder, the volume is given as what? Pi r square h. Pi r square h. And the curved surface area of a cylinder, curved surface area is given as 2 pi r h. 2 pi r h. Now the surface area, curved surface area of a cylinder. So we have total surface area for cylinder. The total surface area of cylinder. This is given as we have 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r square. 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r square. And if you look at it, this can be factorized. So if you factorize this, we have what? 2 pi r. Because 2 pi r is common for both. So here we'll be left with what? H. If you cancel this, we have h plus, here from here we have another r. So we have this. So you can say it's 2 pi r into bracket h plus r. Into bracket h plus r. So we have 2 pi r into bracket h plus r. Now let's take typical example of this. Look at this example. Say a car petrol tank is 0.8 meter long, 25 centimeter wide, and 20 centimeter deep. How many liters of petrol can it hold? So in solving this, of course, in solving this, we realize that we have this wideness in centimeter, we have 20, the deep in centimeter, but looking at the length of it is a meter. So you must be very careful. Whatever you are working with, you must ensure that you are working in the same measurement. The measurement must be the same. So looking at it, so the length of it, the length is equal to 0.8 meter, which must be converted to what? We have to convert it to centimeter. So we know that 100 centimeter make 1 meter. So if you want to convert this, it means that we are going to multiply this by 100. So that will what? 8.8 times what? 100. And that will give us what? 80 centimeter. Some of you ask you, just turn it 1, 2. And from there you have your value. So looking at the wideness, which is the breadth, the wideness, the breadth, that is what? 25 centimeter. And we have the depth. Remember, I told you the other time that my giving depth, or they tell us how deep it is. We are still talking about the height. So the height of it is what? 20 centimeter. So looking at this, how many liters of petrol can it take? When you are talking about liters is same thing as what? 1 liter is 1000 centimeter cube. So when talking about liter, we are talking about what? Volume. When talking about liters, we are talking about volume. So let's look at it. If you multiply this, so we have what? The volume we equal to, that is 80. Of course, we know that will be what? Length times breadth times height. And that is what? 80 times 25 times 20. And this will give us what? 80 times 25 times 20 will give us what? That will be 40,000. We have 40,000 centimeter cube. Why it is centimeter cube? This 80 is in centimeter, 25 is centimeter, 20 is centimeter. So when we multiply the 3 centimeter, it gives us centimeter cube. So length times breadth times height will give us volume, and volume is measured in centimeter cube. So we have 40 centimeter cube. But do not forget that what? 1 liter, we are asked to give our answer in liter. And we know that what? 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeter cube. So x liter now will give us what? 40,000 centimeter. That is, I'm talking about the conversion now. So from here we have what? 1000 x liter we give 1 times what? 40,000. So our x will equal to what? 40,000 divided by what? 1000. And our x will definitely be what? 40 liters. So from the question asked, a car petrol tank is 0.8 meter long, 25 centimeter wide, and 20 centimeter deep. How many liters of petrol can it hold? So with our calculation now, it's going to hold 40 liters of petrol. So the tank can hold 40 liters of petrol. Let's look at this second example. A water tank is 1.2 meters square and 1.35 meters deep. It is half full of water. How many times can 9 liters bucket be filled from the tanks? So from this question we have been given that we have the water tank is 1.2 meters square. That is length times where the length is 1.2, definitely the breadth will be 1.2. So, and we have the depth, D is 1.35 D, that is the depth, which is representing the height. It is half full of water, that is the old container, the old tank is half full of water. How many tanks can 9 liters bucket be filled from the tank? That is, we have a 9 buckets of water, we have a 9 liter bucket. How many times can we take 9 liters of this bucket from the tank? So the first thing you need to do is what? Is to calculate the total volume of that tank. So if you want to look at this, we start by calculating the volume of the tank. So looking at this, the volume of the tank we equal to what? That is length times breadth times height. Okay, now from here we are given the area, the length of the tank to equal to what? 1.2 meter, and that will give us what? 1.2 times 100. We want to convert it to centimeter, so that will give us what? 120 centimeter. That is 120 centimeter. But we're told that the water is 1.2 meters square. That is the area of the tank we equal to what? 120 times 120. That is the square of 1.2 meter. Do not make mistake. If they are talking about the square here, this will have been squared. So they are telling us that what? 1.2 meter square. That is, the length is 1.2 and the breadth is 1.2. So when you multiply this, we are going to have 14,400. That is 14,400 centimeters square. So this is the area. And we are talking about the depth. They give us out the depth of it. The depth of it, which is talking also about the what? The height. And that is what? That is given to be what? To be 1.35 meter. So we convert this to centimeter to by multiplying with 100. That is 135 centimeter. So with this, the volume of the tank we equal to, that is 1/4 the area times what? The height. And that will give us what? 14400, that is 4,400 times 135 centimeter. This centimeter square. Okay, we can just leave this out of it. And from here, we are going to have, so from here we have what? 14,400 centimeter square times 135 centimeter. So from here, if you multiply the two, it's going to give us 1,944,000. So we have what? 194400 centimeter cube. We are going to have that. But we should not forget, this is the total volume, the volume of the tank. But we are told that it is half filled. So half of the tank will equal to, that's 1944,000 divided by 2. And if you divide this by 2, it's going to give us 972,000. 97200 centimeter cube. So this is the half of the tank. Now we are given 9 liters. How many buckets? So the buckets is what? 9 liters. And remember that 1 liter is equal to 1,000 centimeters. So that what? 9 times what? 1,000 will equal to what? 9,000 centimeter cube. So how many liters are we going to get from it, from the water? The total volume of the water now is 972,000 centimeter cube, and we are having a bucket which is 9,000 centimeter cube, the volume. So from here, the number of buckets that can be taken from it, that will be what? 972,000 divided by what? 9,000. 9,000. And when we do that, we are going to have 108. So the number of buckets that can be filled from the tank will be equal to 108 what? Times. Looking at example 3, we have 2.5 liters of oil are poured into a container whose cross-sectional area is a square of side 12.5 centimeter. How deep is the oil in the container? So if we want to look at this, we look at the volume. They have been giving us the volume of that container, which is 12.5 liters. And we have been given the size of the container, which is 12.5 centimeter. So do not forget, this is in centimeter and this is centimeter. So you have to convert the units so that we have the same measurement. So from here, we have the volume of the container, which is equal to 12.5 liters. So you want to convert this, that is 2.5 liters times 1,000. And that will give us what? 2,500 centimeter cube. So 2,500 centimeter cube is the volume of the what? Of that container. And we look at it, we are given that it has whose cross-sectional area is a square of side 12.5 centimeter. So if the length is 12.5 centimeter, so meaning that the breadth also is 12.5 centimeter. So the area will equal to 12.5 times 12.5. And this will give us 12.5 times 12.5 will give us 156.25 centimeter square. And we know that the volume is equal to area times what? Times height. Times height. And from here, we are asked to look for the depth of the oil, that is the height of the container. They ask how deep. I've told us the height, the depth, and how deep can be used interchangeably. They are still referring to the same thing. So looking at this, we have our volume, we have our area, so we can calculate the height, and that is the depth of the oil. So we have our volume, which is what? 2,500 centimeter square cube equal to the area, which is what? 156.25 centimeter square times what? The height. So if taking this, we can make the height as the subject